Well, in this video I'm going to show you how to use some of the built-in tools in your Windows application to help fix problems with your computer and keep it functioning well. So what I have here is the My Computer screen. It's called just Computer in Vista or My Computer in XP and earlier versions of Windows. And I'm going to find the C drive. I've got hard disk drives too. These are all my network drives and other drives. That's my DVD that's in the drive. But this is my main C drive, which is the main part of my computer. If I right click on that with my mouse, I get this pull down menu and I'm going to choose Properties. And that brings me up this little window. I'll just move it so that you can see it perhaps a bit more clearly. And it tells me first of all how much space I'm using on this particular drive. So the blue is used up space and the pink is free space. And that's really very handy to know, because if you're going to install some hungry software or do something with it like partition it, you need to know how much space you've got available. Now there's a disk cleanup tool here, and I'll just click on that to show you. It asks me which files to clean up, my files only or files from all users on this computer. Now I happen to be the only user on this computer at the moment, so I'll do my files only. And it pops up it does a little progress bar here saying it's scanning, and this is going to take a little while, so I'm going to pause the video now and come back to it when it's done. Right, well, it's done that, and it's showing me that I could save 321 megabytes on this computer if I take out some temporary internet files, some Microsoft Office temporary files, and empty my recycle bin. And a few other places there are some various archived error reports and things like that. If I want to, I can click this button, View Files, and get a detailed look at what files they're proposing to empty, but I don't really need to do that. I'm just going to click OK for everything, and it's asked me if I'm sure, and I say yes, delete files, and so it's doing that. And again, I'll pause until it's finished its job. Having finished with the disk cleanup, I now want to show you what happens when we open the Tools tab, which is the second one along. The disk cleanup utility is on General tab. On Tools tab there are three tools that are really important for maintaining your hard disk. First of all is this error checking. Now that says check now, and I'll show you what happens. Click on that. It wants to get permission to continue, and it opens up this little window which says check disk options, automatically fix file system errors, and one that I haven't checked at the moment is scan for and attempt recovery of bad sectors. Now the reason it has these two options is that that's a 3-stage check and that's a 5-stage check, and that's going to scan every single part of your hard disk, which can take some time. So it's worth doing once a month or so, just overnight or something like that when you can leave it. But under normal, for just fixing errors, you could just leave it with the one that's ticked by default. Now when I click Start, it says Windows can't check the disk while it's in use. Do you want to check check for hard disk errors the next time you start your computer? And I've got the opportunity to schedule a disk check. Now if I click on that, it's going to do the disk check next time I restart the computer. And the reason is that it needs to do this before your hard drive starts to spin. It wants to do it needs to be unmounted effectively. and this is a utility that does that. So if you have a real problem, I had a weird thing the other day where my Bluetooth icon completely disappeared. I couldn't find Bluetooth anywhere, and my Bluetooth mouse would no longer work. So I scheduled a disk check, a complete one, let it run, and when I restarted after that, lo and behold, the Bluetooth was back again. So what do you know? I'll cancel out of this now and show you what's next. The defragmentation, what that means is that as you use your computer, each piece of software, each document uses up little random bits on your disk. So it's not as if all your bits of data are together. You may have a file called, administration, say, but you'll find that all the parts, all the things that are in that folder are scattered all over your drive. So defragmenting brings them together and makes the disk work faster. So if I click defragment now, again it wants permission to continue, and it is offering me to defragment every Wednesday. In this case I've got it set up at 3 AM every Wednesday starting on the 25th of April 2009. It tells me when it was last run, which was the 10th of June, and when the next scheduled run is, and it lets me change those, so I can say how often I want it to do, daily, weekly, monthly, what day of the week, what time of the day. I'll cancel out of that. Now it's worth having that set up to run automatically, preferably at a time when you can leave the computer running but not be working on it. There's also a button to press saying defragment now, which means you can do it on an on-demand basis. So I'll close that. The third tool is Windows Backup, and it says Backup Now. And this sets an automatic file backup and lets you schedule a backup, which lets you schedule a backup for whenever you want to. And it will, once you've done that, it'll give you the opportunity to change to backup on demand. I tend to prefer not to use a backup utility like this. The reason is that once you do this, you can only ever restore it with the same utility. There are other ways of doing backups, but this is a good thing to do once in a while anyway, preferably, and put it on a DVD or a CD or another disk drive so that you have a backstop when you need one. So that's it for now. I'll turn that off, and particularly if you defrag your disk once in a while, and if you have problems, use the error checking to check for errors, and I think you'll find your computer will run much more sweetly.